What's going on, guys? Welcome back to No Reserves Radio. We've been sitting here waiting to record for like 5 minutes now, but Angelo had to go get water, and it took him, I'm not kidding you, maybe 6 minutes to go get water. Do you want to explain yourself real quick?
Yes, I had to walk barefoot across lava to get frozen ice water from the mountains of Nova Scotia.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
To be honest, I don't want to actually know why it took you so long. I don't care enough, and I don't.
You definitely care enough.
No,
but you don't want to. Yes, you do.
So question of the day is going to be a fun one. It is, what is an unpopular opinion you have? And I'll go first just to set the pace so that you don't say something that's going to get yourself canceled. So me personally, I think bacon is overrated. It's good. I do like bacon. But people act like it's literally made from the gods, and it's good. Let's just leave it at that. It doesn't have to be magical. It's good.
I 100% agree with that. I'm when bacon is good if if it's on something, but I'm not one of those that actively goes out since I need bacon.
Yeah, I mean, I'll eat bacon, but if you are one of the people that is the reason bacon flavored toothpaste exists because you it's that good, that's stupid. It's good. It is very, very good. It is a very quality food, but it's food. It's fuel. That's all it is. It's not that deep. Angelo, what is an unpopular opinion that you have?
The later seasons of Game of Thrones weren't actually that bad. They just didn't live up to George R.R. Martin's very particular writing and attention to detail.
Okay, hold on. We need to branch out to do a pop culture podcast because this needs to be broken down so I can tell you exactly why you're wrong. Because, just in my head, I already have 6 pages of a, normal notebook filled up with how wrong you are. The writing was terrible. No, you're wrong. That's not the first time that is the first time you're going to be wrong, and it's not the last time for tonight. So NBA. Oh, go ahead.
So then I got the assignment right. It's an unpopular opinion. Go on.
That's just a bad opinion. So some NBA news. So we'll start. James Harden allegedly is going to be re-signing with the Houston Rockets. Man just loves Houston strip clubs that much that he's gonna go back and ruin the development of whoever they select and also the players that are already there. What was the other news? There was other news.
Was it Demetrius?
He's just gonna leave them empty-handed? The 76ers are just, sorry, buddy. Better luck next time.
The process failed.
So that's what I'm leading into next. So apparently there's trade rumors now involving the New York Knicks for Joel Embiid. I don't know what the Knicks have that the Sixers would be interested in.
It would probably be a package that involved Randall Barrett,
and futures.
A lot of them.
Unless Joel Embiid requests a trade, then the package is a lot smaller because that's just how it works. If you don't want to be there, you're going to get less of a return.
Yep.
The Suns are likely to guarantee Chris Paul's contract, so the Suns will not be winning next season. Portland expected to make the number 3 trade pick available within trade, and in that vein, so the draft lottery happened. We'll come back to the Portland Trail Blazers. San Antonio Spurs win the Victor Wembanyama sweepstakes. The Spurs have a pretty good track record with first overall picks, I would say. But Austin, go ahead and tell me how the Spurs are wrong and you're right.
I mean, the Spurs aren't wrong. They're taking the best prospect, but the prospect will be a bust. I don't think his body is going to hold up to the NBA caliber speed and strength. I think he's going to get bullied. And
But-
I want to clarify something with bust. Bust does not mean he's out of the league in 3 years. Bust to me, because he's such a quote unquote generational talent, is he won't live up to the hype. Like Zion. Zion was like the next LeBron, was the up and coming LeBron James, right? That's what everyone was believing. Injuries, couldn't stay healthy, got heavy, whatever it be. He has not lived up to that bar that was set at draft.
But hold on though, because that's kind of being unfair to Zion, because it's not like Zion is in like the end of his career. He's not even in his prime yet. The dude is only 22 years old. There's still plenty of time, and he's averaged 26 points for his career. He averaged 27 last year, 26 this year. Yes, you want him to play more games. But in terms of the talent, it's there. He is playing like the next LeBron. It's just the availability piece that leaves something to be desired. But we had an episode where we discussed how availability should be determined when we're talking about, MVP voting, for example. And correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe you were on Angelo's side that availability isn't that important.
No, I think I was on your side. I don't think
So-
I was as restrictive as you, but I wasn't like, they can play 5 games and be MVP. I think I said
But-
somewhere around like 50 to 75%, somewhere in that range.
But he's had some bad luck with injuries, absolutely. But I would not call him a bust at 22 years old when he's putting up the numbers when he's healthy that he is. There's still plenty of time for him to figure this out and,
I don't know. I don't think he's the hype that was set at draft day. I don't think he'll live up to. And granted, most people don't. But this hype for Wemby is unreal, and I think it's undeserved.
I don't think it's undeserved. Whether he'll live up to it, sure, we can argue that. But you cannot go to YouTube right now, watch some Wemby highlights, and tell me that it doesn't make you excited to watch him.
I just don't think it's the same caliber talent.
I will say this. I think I'm leaning more toward Rehn, but I will say the people who say like he's going to be this amazing 3-point threat out the gate, he averaged 28% from 3 his last year. Like he still has to develop that part of his game. There's still parts of his game he needs to develop.
There's a lot, because remember, go back to Kevin Durant's draft, and we would say the same things about Durant because he was a twig. But he developed a handle. And not that he didn't have one, but he developed more of a handle. Wemby already has that. He moves like a guard. If he was playing down in the post all the time as a bruiser, which he's not doing, I would be concerned. But whatever team he ends up on, in this case the Spurs, Pop isn't going to have him out there trying to guard Jokic his first season because he would get killed. He's going to be playing a lot of help defense.
I'd take he do better than Ayton did in that playoff series.
Oh, definitely. He absolutely would.
A piece of paper would do better than Ayton did.
Yeah, we established in the bonus episode, Austin wasn't there, that I don't think that Ayton is that bad. I just don't think Ayton cared.
No, I get that. You could see that. I still think he's definitely an NBA caliber talent. He's just
He's a starter.
not in a situation he wants to be.
Yeah. And we will more be discussing that shortly, not this episode, but in the coming weeks, when we start ranking positions, because I'm guessing one of us for sure will be leaving Ayton off their top 10, but we'll see who that is.
Yeah.
But no, I think that Wemby will be fine in the NBA. Yes, he might miss some games because he is built the way he is, but I do think as he gets into an NBA system where he has a dietitian, a nutritionist, and a strength and development coach, we're going to see him put on some weight. I don't think he's going to put on a ton because that's just not the way he plays. He doesn't need it.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, I think injuries will play a part later in his career, but I don't think it will matter so much in the next 5 or so years. And I think that if he
But
is
do you
strong
consider someone? Go ahead.
if they're strong out of the gate, or if he's strong out of the gate in terms of what Wemby is supposed to do, like what we expect him to do, what those expectations are, the Spurs could be a play-in team next year.
Yeah, him and Keldon.
Yeah, Keldon's fantastic. Hopefully they don't bring
Yeah.
back Rehn, but
So
and
for
this
you,
makes
do you
San
think?
Antonio more of a free agent destination?
Yeah. Do you think? So if you said Wemby has like maybe 5 or 6 years before you think injuries could plague him.
Before they
Don't you
start
think that would?
impacting it.
Don't you think that would be a mark on his record? Like we have these guys that aren't twigs going, 12, 13, 14 years. If he goes after 5 like Yao and he's like, okay, I can't keep up. Can you call that like a generational talent?
I think you
Like
can.
he can't be that next big person if he can't last.
It's a position that doesn't have a lot of longevity. How many plus 7-footers have long careers in the NBA at a high caliber? It's not that many. There are some, sure, but they're the exception. When we're talking about these players having these 20-year careers, they're 6 inches shorter than him. They're not built the way he's built. He is a mountain. A very skinny mountain, but he's a mountain. So it'll be interesting to see how going forward he develops, because if he does strengthen some of those supporting muscles that help, hold the knee together, help his back not get blown out, maybe he goes longer. But I still would say he's a generational talent just based on the talent alone, because there's very few people that have the combination of the size and skill that he has. Actually, there's nobody that has the combination of size and skill that he has, because he is an actual unicorn, is what I'm saying. Well, Angelo has been relatively quiet tonight, which is weird. So we'll go, like,
it's probably getting more water.
Mentioned it. I briefly mentioned it. So the Trailblazers have made the third, or are going to make the third overall pick available. Good move, bad move.
When is the draft? Or when is the draft?
June something. I mean, it's after the
June 22nd.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, I mean, that's a ways off, but
about a month, yeah.
Good move, bad move. Doesn't move the needle either way. I mean, it depends on what you're getting back, but
yeah,
because the draft is, for all intents and purposes, a crapshoot. No, you're picking first overall. First overall picks are not a 100% success rate. Second overall picks, not a 100% success rate. Like, it is a crapshoot. If you are getting a quality NBA asset back, and it's someone that's not, 38 years old in their last couple years, it's a guaranteed NBA player. And the window, because they do want to win with Dame. Dame has made a commitment to the city has made a commitment to Dame.
Mm-hmm.
They want to win with Dame. I just don't know what you can get for the third overall pick. Because if you want a player of the caliber that will help you win with Dame, right? You have to get that from a team that wants to get rid of one of those players and go young. The problem is, a team that has a player like that is not outside of the playoffs, right?
I have an interesting proposition.
Oh, go ahead.
What would you think about a Dame Jaylen Brown situation?
That's
I
not
would
going to
love
happen.
it. I would love it, but it's not going to happen. I
I
agree.
think what's more likely to happen is if Harden really leaves and Embiid is really on the market, maybe a 103 plus for Embiid to pair Dame with Embiid might be on the table, but honestly,
So would you think that would have to include Simons though? And in that
probably.
situation, from the Trailblazer standpoint, are you making that trade? Because
I don't think I
Might as
would.
well. What do
I
you
don't
mean?
know.
You've put
You
yourself into this corner anyway. You've already robbed Dame of over a decade. I got to miss Dame versus LeBron. I got to miss Dame facing Steph in the playoffs. I got to miss everything. So what's the point? I mean, you might as well go in and try to give it one go. Screw it. I mean, you don't care, obviously. So just go.
You're hedging your entire future on a guy like in that situation because
So how's the last 10 years gone from, Ren? They've hedged the last 10 years.
Listen. I'm not disagreeing with you. I think that if you're trading 103 and Anthony Simons, you're not going for a guy that can't win, for a guy that disappears in a game 7. That's my argument. If you're going to trade that, you want a surefire thing coming back. That surefire thing is not Joel Embiid. That's the point I'm making. I don't disagree with you. They should include Anthony Simons in a trade, but not for Joel Embiid. Jaylen Brown, I would be more inclined to do because he is a player that going forward, once the Dame years are over, you could build around.
I just said that because I know he's on his last year of his contract next year.
Yeah, and he wants to go somewhere where he will get to be the guy, which will never happen while he's on the Celtics.
Portland, that team.
What?
Is Portland that team?
I mean, yeah, Dame doesn't have that much longer left. It's almost time for him to ride into the sunset. Jason Tatum is younger than Jaylen Brown, isn't he?
Yeah.
So, it could be that team. Do I think it's that team? No. I just, for the sake of discussion,
Only by a year.
Portland, I'm not trading 103 and Anthony Simons for Joel Embiid. Yes, he has the talent, but until he's shown that he can show up in a game 7, no, that's not for me. That might be for other people, but that's not for me. And we spent a lot of time on that one. So let's talk about the thing we're actually here to talk about, which is the playoffs. We are officially into the second round. Game 1 has been played for both teams. Game 2 has been played for Lakers Nuggets. So let's go ahead and start with the Celtics and Heat. Heat have a 1-0 lead. I still think the Celtics are winning this series. And the reason being, Jimmy Butler had a great game. Sure, absolutely. Not going to take that away from him. 6 players on the Heat scored above 15 points. I don't think they have that many games where they have that many players score in double digits, let alone 15 plus. And the Celtics just have too many weapons. It's just, yeah, I still think the Celtics are taking the series.
I generally agree with you. I picked the Celtics before the series started. I said in the chat earlier, I think the Celtics' best options are to try to get into the later series and hope Jimmy is gassed. Losing a game 1 at home when you're the top seed is obviously not good. It's not ideal. But the Celtics do have the weapons to come back from that, obviously. My question is, when Miami turns those games into grimy, nitty-gritty games, can the Celtics win those games? I want to see that first before I make an obvious prediction. And obviously, if the Heat go down 2-0 the Celtics go down 2-0 in Boston to Miami, I don't think they're going to get to game 6 or 7.
Yeah, if the Heat win tonight, I might be not switching my, because I'm not going to switch my pick.
I'm not going to switch either, but I'm going to admit I'm probably wrong.
Yeah, if they go down 2-0 and like they've already lost home court, but if they lose home court and they're 2 games in the hole, it's not impossible, but it is very challenging to come back from that. How much of the outcome of game 1 do you think has to do with Spoelstra versus Mazzulla as coaches? Because Mazzulla is, I think, 33, 34 years old. He's very young, inexperienced. The playoff basketball, as we've established, completely different game. It is not in any way similar to what you watch or play or whatever during the regular season. Mazzulla looked just completely outcoached in that game. But how much do you, as someone, because I'm specifically asking you because you don't value the coach as much as, say, Austin or I do. So from an outsider's perspective of that, how much do you think the coaching differential, because Eric Spoelstra is a fantastic coach.
You're going to have to...
He's underrated.
I'm sorry, I have a huge headache. Mazzulla, did he or did he not coach the Celtics to that finals run last year?
I don't think so.
No, I think they switched coaches this year.
Yeah, because Ime.
Because Udoka was last year.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is Mazzulla's first year on the Celtics.
Okay. And then, possibly. But again, the Celtics have so many weapons, I'm not sure over the course of this series it's going to matter. We'll see.
And what's your thoughts on this series so far?
I'm not really worried about the Celtics. I think even if they lose game 2, I think Tatum and Brown are just too... I think they're too good. I could see a reverse, like, the swap at home. If the Celtics lose tonight, I could see the Celtics taking 2 in Miami.
I couldn't.
So, I'm all in on Celtics. I think they'll win.
I think the Celtics have enough of a veteran presence because they do have two. I mean, they've got multiple. They've got 2 really good veteran leaders in Al Horford and Malcolm Brogdon. Very vocal leaders, very involved. I just don't think that the Heat can score enough points consistently outside of Jimmy Butler and Bam Adebayo to really be that much of a threat to Boston over a 7-game series.
So I'm going to ask you a question.
Yes. Go on.
I know Angelo's going to be happy, but if Jimmy wins, beats the Celtics, if he wins a ring this year, is he top 100?
Oh, I think he's top 100 already.
Gave the game away.
We were discussing top 75.
That's right. It was 75. Do you think he's top 75?
Wait, when were you discussing top 75? I've always said top 100.
Yeah, it was 75 because the NBA 75 came out.
About the NBA 75, and we were talking about emissions.
Interesting.
But I don't know. Like,
but anyways, back to Jimmy Butler.
Yeah, I'd be comfortable putting him on top 75 then.
Because
I've never had him off for his talent. I've had him off for his talent without being able to speak to it. Because it seems like every time he's faced adversity, he's just run to a new team. And that doesn't, like... For me, greatest of all time, and this falls into anything, is like, if you face adversity, you rise to it. You don't run from it. You don't jump on a plane and go to the next city. You don't go to the next team because you didn't win or you didn't trust in the guys. You made a change. You did whatever you had to. Like, there was a book I was reading about Michael Jordan recently, and they were talking about how everyone on those championship Bulls teams, they love Mike, but they also hate him because of how he drove them. we wouldn't be talking about Michael Jordan as the greatest of all time if every time the Bulls faced adversity, he jumped ship to another team. So that's my argument against Jimmy Butler being top 75. It has nothing to do really with his talent because the talent's there. It's the fact that he runs from adversity, and that's just not greatest of all time mindset in my eyes.
How many times did Michael Jordan not have the better team?
Michael Jordan never put himself in a situation.
What do you mean?
Jordan pushed his team to be the absolute best. So, like, it's not a fair comparison. So I guess a better comparison would be Kobe. Because Kobe had those adverse seasons. He had the not so great seasons. Didn't jump ship and go to, I don't know, the Bobcats.
He requested a trade.
Yeah, he requested a trade to force a move. Did he actually leave the Lakers?
He did not.
He did not. He knew how to play the politics. That's not the same thing at all. But with Butler, how many teams has he been on now? 3?
4.
4?
Bulls, Timberwolves, 76ers, Heat.
I forgot he was on the 76ers. That was where he beat the starters with the bench unit, right?
No, that was the Timberwolves. Honestly, I think he claims that the reason he left was because of lack of communication with coaching staff and up top. I think if they would have been able to keep him where they are now, I think the 76ers would have at least one finals appearance in the last 5 years.
Well, yeah, definitely, but
so
ifs, ands, and buts, my guy. That's not.
That's true.
But that just. It's an interesting thought experiment because if he wins, I don't think I can, in good conscience, leave him off of the top 75. But the only reason he's already off of it is because every time he's faced adversity, he's ran from it. And I don't want to say he's ran from it, but he has. Because that's what I call it when you have been on 4 teams in your career because you couldn't win with one of them or couldn't win your way. Because you're not Michael Jordan, you're not Kobe Bryant. Like, you're the best player on your team, any team you've been on, sure. But you're not shaping an organization. You're not changing the game of basketball like Steph Curry did. You're just a very, very talented player. So, yeah. That we were talking about the Heat Celtics. What do you think the Celtics need to do? Because do you think they just need to continue doing what they were doing in game 1? Or is there coaching adjustments you would make? Because in the 76er series, we saw the adjustment, which was Robert Williams starting at center. Though I think the real adjustment was just Joel Embiid can't perform under bright lights. Do you think the Celtics need to make any changes, or do you think the way they've been playing up to this point is fine and that was a fluky game?
I mean, I think if you're the Celtics, you have to see if Miami can replicate that offense again.
Yeah.
So I don't think it's necessarily an adjustment that needs made right now, but I would want to see, A, can Miami keep scoring like that? And then B, when you get into a nip and tuck game, what does that look like? And then you make your adjustments there.
So based on game 1, and this is just hypotheticals, let's say Tyler Hero never got injured.
Mm-hmm.
Heat take game 1.
Yes.
Does that immediately shift your perspective because Tyler Hero gives the Heat another actual weapon on top of Bam and Jimmy?
I think if Tyler Hero played, Celtics went down 2-0, I think I would almost want to jump picks. Yeah, I think I would call it at that point.
I think that
Wow.
I call it. I think I'm calling it if the Heat take tonight, because it's really hard, not impossible, for a team to lose home court and also go down 2-0. So
Yes.
I don't know if the Heat win tonight. I might call it, and then hope I'm wrong. But yeah.
Here's the thing: the Heat are already on track to make this a long series, especially being the road team. Because what's your goal of the first two games? You want to take one of those two games,
Right.
ideally. So they're already on track to make this series an extended series. Well, we just got to see. I never took the Heat lightly. I never ever took the Heat lightly. I knew this was not going to. This potentially had the chance to really blow up in my face, but I think that Boston could kind of come in early, take them down early, and then because if I'm not mistaken, I picked it Celtics in 5 or 6. That's kind of because that was the blueprint that I foresaw them winning. If this game goes to 6-7, I'm probably going to be wrong. But we'll see.
Moving to the Lakers, I'm going to let you guys take the lead for a second because I'm currently receiving a phone call.
Okay.
Go ahead and talk about the Lakers.
So, Austin, being the sole person that picked the Lakers in that series, how do you feel post games 1 and 2?
Series doesn't start till someone loses at home.
Okay.
You said that, and I think it's resonated me with almost the most thing that you've ever said. Because it's true. It's true. I think Game 3 will be deciding. If LeBron loses next game, it's over.
Yes. No, 100% it's over.
If the Lakers take one, I could see a Game 7 coming just from that.
You'll see. They have to take both. That's the interesting predicament of going down 0-2, but you're not the home court team for Game 7. Is you now are in a situation where you have to defend home court, because if you don't, then take Games 3 and 4.
You almost have to win 3 straight.
Yeah, it's a long road from there. So LeBron and the Lakers are definitely a caliber of team that can do that. And I even said, like, if I was rooting for the Lakers, I would have felt good after the loss, seeing what the Denver Nuggets had to do to accomplish that. And then Game 2.
See, I watched some of Game 2, and I still feel good.
You do?
Jamal Murray is not going to score. I think he had
he went nuclear.
15 or 23. What?
He almost had 40.
Yeah, he dropped like 23 of it in the fourth quarter. I don't see him doing that again.
But
he in the final like 10 minutes I was watching, he did not miss from 3. You could blindfold the man and it was going in.
I believe it.
It was insane. I don't think he'll reciprocate it though.
He has those moments though. That's kind of the thing. Like, it wasn't last season's playoffs, but the playoffs before that, he went like nuclear 3 games in a row, and
yeah,
it's just in him.
So,
but then he died, and then it went away.
And then
I think the Lakers are going to catch him on that lull, and are going to be able to claw their way back to a 7.
So, I've been here for a minute, by the way. So let's look at this though from a different perspective. Okay, so Denver round 1 was Denver, Minnesota, right?
Yes.
That was a gentleman's sweep, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yes.
Okay,
5
so
games.
4-1. Denver, Phoenix went to 6, right?
Yes.
So on the flip side, Lakers, Grizzlies went to 7, correct? Or was it 6?
6.
6.
They got it done in LA.
Lakers, Golden State was also 6. The Lakers have played a lot more in a lot shorter of time because of how the series have kind of been adjusted. Do you think that's going to impact old man LeBron as the series drags on? Because this is the most physical series they're going to have played.
So I think it can go both ways because now that at least last night LeBron was guarding Jokic, I think LeBron won't have to run the court as much if he's truly playing on Jokic.
Yeah, but I don't.
I think he'll get that breather.
I don't think that's necessarily. This isn't LeBron James 2007. This is not guard 1 through 5 LeBron. Nikola Jokic might be one of the, if not the best passer of all time. And he's also one of the best rebounders of all time. You might be shooting yourself in the foot there. Because, yeah, LeBron probably can stop Jokic from scoring, but he's not going to stop Jokic from being Jokic.
I agree with that.
I don't know. The interesting thing is, let's say this goes to Game 7. Okay, again,
Sure.
we're devil's advocating here. Let's say it goes to Game 7. Lakers take it. So the Lakers will have now played 1,000,000 games this playoff, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that no
Yep.
matter what, the outcome of this series, if it goes to 7, the Heat or the Celtics will make pretty quick work of the Lakers because they have played so much in such a short amount of time? They
It
have
depends. So
the
I
Lakers are
think
just so old. That's
I don't.
my
I agree, but I disagree. So we need to stop looking at LeBron in this light that he's even like 3 years ago. LeBron is not the player he was. He's still a great player. He will give you like 20 points, borderline 10 rebounds, and borderline 10 assists, but he's not going off like that. The real crux of it is Anthony Davis healthy, and what can the supporting cast do with that? LeBron's going to give you his 20 regardless. He's going to give you the 20. So, can you do enough around that 20 to win a series? I think that Boston could definitely make easier work of them than Miami, but I don't know.
I've got a spoiler for you. Anthony Davis hasn't been healthy since he was on Kentucky.
I know.
Oh no, he had a couple seasons where he was healthy in New Orleans because I think he had.
And then he wasn't.
Yeah, and then he really
then he
wasn't. But I think he played 75 back to back.
I think we can't end this pod without giving respect to Rui Hachimura.
No, I think that Rui has been a game changer for. I think that was an underrated trade.
Mm-hmm.
In more ways than one.
Didn't they get him for like a second or something like that?
I mean, it was out of nowhere, I think, but I mean, I've always.
So here's my question to you, Ren. Let's play the flip.
Okay.
Let's do this from the Lakers standpoint. I don't think I've really seen Jokic go off, at least not like he did in the last series. Do you think Denver can comfortably take 4 games without Jokic going off?
So here's my counter, okay? So you say Jokic hasn't gone off, right?
Not like he did the last series, no.
Not like he did in the last series. So you don't think 34 points, 21 rebounds, and 14 assists is going off? You want more?
Wait. I got this.
Go ahead.
He's been objectively bad this series.
Thank you. So let's say that you think that 34, 21, and 14 is not good with 2 blocks, by the way. We'll say that that's not good, okay? Right? We're saying that, right? Angelo? Austin.
Austin, are you there?
Angelo.
Yes?
Okay, so let's go ahead and say 34, 21, and 14 with 2 blocks is bad, okay? We're saying that? Like, he has underperformed, as you called it, right?
Sure, at least not compared to the last series, yes.
So we're going to say that. The Nuggets are up 2-0. So
sure.
if they win when he's underperforming, imagine when he performs to your standard, which I guess would be like 50 points, 40 rebounds, and 30 assists.
Yeah, something like that.
So yeah, I don't think that has any impact on it because if you're winning and your best player isn't playing their best, what are you gonna do when they're playing their best? You're gonna win more.
What if
So
they don't play their best? Is the question.
then you've already won 2 games without them playing their best. I don't understand the question. They're up 2-0. Yes, they haven't won on the road, which, as you've said, playoffs only get interesting when a home team loses. But they just have to not lose. The Nuggets are the only team in the playoffs that are undefeated at home, if I'm correct.
Lakers.
Are Lakers completely undefeated at home?
I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
We need a fact check on that, but I'm
Austin, go ahead.
Looking up now.
So no, if your best player is underperforming and you're still winning, I don't care. Like, what does that have to do in the long-term thing, right? Because like if you're winning, you're winning. It doesn't matter. If Jokic returns to form, which I'm sure he will, and again, I don't think 34, 21, and 14 with 2 blocks is in any way bad.
I'm not saying it's bad. I'm just saying it's not. And granted, Jokic was defending a cone, was being defended by a traffic cone, but
then, like last game, which was objectively his worst game of the playoffs, and I'm actually saying that legitimately, like looking at his game log, that was his worst game of the playoffs.
yeah,
He still had 23 points, 17 rebounds, 12 assists, and 3 steals. If that's a bad game, sure, I'll take that every night. You can give me that performance every night, and I'm happy.
but something similar to that is what LeBron's going to give you. So if you're really going to say, okay, LeBron age 38 performance every night is going to be okay, then
are you taking? So then the question becomes: are you taking LeBron's supporting cast or Jokic's supporting cast?
there's the question. Yes,
I'm taking Jokic's.
really. I don't.
Yes.
You can go with this box plus minus, but AD is the best player out left when you take out LeBron.
Both teams are undefeated at home.
There you go.
Oh, I thought the Lakers lost one.
Nope.
I stand corrected.
Yes, you do. Suck it.
One of them will lose that title this series, or not. They actually might not. If this goes
Yeah,
to
they
seven. One of them will lose that title this series. I'd put money on it.
Yeah. No, I think it has to happen. Either the Nuggets have to take a game in LA or the Lakers have to take a game in Denver.
And they have to. Don't the Lakers have to take? No, they would just.
So if it goes to a game 7, do you feel comfortable saying Denver?
Yeah,
No,
I would.
I wouldn't.
So all this faith you have in Stat Paddington, you would not have faith in him in a game 7.
Hey Austin, can you
Yeah.
Can you look up which active NBA player has played in the most game 7s?
Sure.
Please, thank you. We're just gonna wait in silence. This is awkward. Hey, Viewingtons, listeners.
I guess
Most active.
Yeah,
I guess that means we're gonna keep that in. Okay.
Do you know who the overall is?
Who's the
In
most
game?
overall?
Are we
Ray
taking?
Allen.
Yeah, that makes sense.
That makes a lot of sense.
Is it like 11? I think 11 sounds about right.
It's 11. There is
Yeah.
a 2-way tie for game 7 or for game 7s.
Among active?
It is among active.
Okay.
Technically 3, but I don't count Rondo. I don't even know I don't think he's out of the league this year.
He's not out of the league yet. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Head
It
Rondo
is-
is coming back.
It is CP3 and Chris Paul or in LeBron James.
CP3
Oh,
and Chris Paul.
CP3.
Those are completely different game 7s, though.
So wait a minute. You're saying
And Marcus Smart's actually at 7. Interesting.
that's very interesting. So you're saying that the difference between you being confident and you not being confident is
LeBron
not
James.
the games, not the experience. It's the fact that it's LeBron James.
No, so if I flip this question around, do you want me to flip this question around?
Go for it.
So we can flip it to who has lost the most game 7s and who has won the most game 7s.
Wait,
One of
I
those
got
is
this.
CP3.
I
One
got
of them
this.
is
Or we
LeBron
can
James.
do the points per game, and LeBron in Game Sevens is averaging 34.9, 9.9, and 5.5
LeBron,
assists.
LeBron is not going to give
Look,
you
I'm just.
dang near 40 points in a Game 7 at
I
38.
think he would. I think he would. This is weird. The LeBron stan isn't like I'm the LeBron hater here.
I want this on record.
I saw Kobe's last game. Okay, it didn't matter that Kobe was coming off an Achilles tear. It didn't matter that he was 40 years old. It was the last chance. It was the last
Do you
time.
think this is LeBron's last chance?
Oh, that's tough.
I have a hard time writing off LeBron even at age
Yeah.
39.
I for all you football fans, it's like Tom Brady. It's just if you write him off, you're gonna regret it because until he actually slows down, we can't say, oh, next year he's gonna slow down. And I think it's gonna be that same thing. Like when he slows down, it's gonna hit like a truck and
Yeah.
just suddenly.
Mhm.
But until he does that,
I don't think he'll let it get there.
You don't think he will? You think he'll retire before it comes to that?
Yeah, I think if he
no.
knows he doesn't have it, I can see
So you
him doing
think,
one of two things: taking a massive like reserve veteran role
Yeah.
and just being more of a leader, or hanging the cleats up before it gets too bad.
So do you think we will see? Because I definitely think that if LeBron has an off season and he's like, I feel slower, I'm suddenly like getting dunked on in these pickup games. Like I think we could see him hang him up.
I don't. I think he wants to play. He wants to play a year with his son.
It's after Bronny gets in the league.
Yeah, no, he will 100% play until Bronny's in the league.
Yes.
And people will keep him in the league until that happens.
Yeah, it'll be like 2K or you're overriding the retirement.
Yeah.
Because the league wants that. Because Adam Silver wants that storyline.
Oh yeah, that's a moneymaker.
That is, it writes itself. There will be a Disney movie coming out. They're gonna do Space Jam 3 featuring Bronny and Bron.
Isn't that already what it was?
Okay. Full clarity. I have not watched Space Jam 2.
Oh my god.
Well, you just described Space Jam 2, so maybe it's going to be maybe it's going to be his grandson he plays with.
You know what? Hey, Disney, offer me a job because I just came up with your movie ideas. Or wait, that wasn't Disney. That wasn't Disney. I'm talking Disney movie, not HBO movie or whatever.
You brought Space Jam 3 up.
That was beyond
That
disappointing.
was lack of clarity on my part.
That was beyond.
But no, if this goes to Game 7, I'm not writing LeBron off. I'm 100% LeBron's gonna have a 60-point game. It's just gonna happen.
I mean, he dropped 30, 10, and 6 in the play-in game, which is the one.
LeBron is 100% still capable of it. I think that if he has to do that in Game 7, then it doesn't matter who's out of the East. I think they're walking over the Lakers.
Yeah, he's shooting so bad this year.
Yeah.
Who, LeBron?
LeBron
from 3. He's 23% from 3 in the playoffs.
LeBron's like averaging 50% from the field. He's not playing bad. He's just from 3 though. Yeah, it's right.
Yeah, from 3 is what I mean.
Career average from both. So, like his entire career, he shoots 34% from 3. Like,
yeah,
it's not that big of a fall. I just spent the last 5 minutes like talking
defending
LeBron. I need a shower.
It's like when you did that with CP3. When you called him a good player.
What?
You called him a good player.
Stop lying.
Angelo, I think you were there.
No.
I don't know if it was a podcast, but you said it.
I do not recall.
You did say it.
There was alcohol involved. I don't know. Young CP3, like Bobcats era CP3, sure. Decent player.
Decent.
Was he?
I hear those goalposts moving. I think he was.
My
I think they were.
brain is not working. Was that while they were moving? Why,
So-
we're all
Or
like
are you thinking?
casuals
Are
right
you
now.
thinking Hornets because it was the New Orleans Hornets?
Yeah. Yeah, because he started on the Pelicans.
Yeah.
Pelicans era CP3, great. Great player.
What about Clippers CP3?
Carried by Blake.
Carried by Blake?
Carried by Blake.
That's all the time we have for tonight, guys. All next week.
Look. The Clippers, the Showtime Clippers, as they called themselves. What did they call themselves?
Yes.
Okay, so the
Yeah.
Showtime Clippers were really great at losing in exciting fashion. It was great to watch them dunk when they were down by 20. Look at that alley-oop. Oh, we cut the lead to 19. Like, no. Chris Paul is not a winner. And no. Anything I've said otherwise regarding Christopher Emmanuel Paul was a lie.
Not the whole name.
Full government. Full government.
Unbelievable.
He's overrated. He's like 5'11". He can
6 foot.
He can play. He's 5'11". He is 5'11".
Wikipedia says 6 foot.
Wikipedia is wrong. He's 5'11". He can play the passing lane. He can't defend anyone. Like, oh, good. You can. You're so small, people don't see you when you come running through the passing lane.
You're right. 7-time All NBA defensive first team, 2-time second
Established
team.
voters are dumb. Kendrick
Can't
Perkins gaslit everyone into voting for the man that couldn't play in Game 7 as MVP. You're gonna sit here and tell me, like, that speaks more to the weakness of the point guard position, which that's not like Deron Williams was balling during that time.
Wait,
Rondo was good.
what does Kendrick Perkins gaslighting Embiid to win the game?
I'm saying that the voters don't always like make the best choices.
Now.
Not in general.
Okay.
Derrick Rose won MVP in 2012. LeBron James had a better season.
So you said that was a deserved MVP?
No, I said that it could be either way. I said I wouldn't have been mad either way. But the fact is, LeBron James was the better player. But they gave it to D-Rose, which I'm fine with. And I said I was fine
Jokic was the better player, but they gave it to Embiid, but that's bad.
Yes. It's what have you done for me lately? Okay? And in this case,
this is the thing. It's like, it's easy to start on Ren's side. It's hard to go through the process of being on Ren's side for an entire episode. It's really hard.
It's a roller coaster, isn't it? It's great.
You lose brain cells.
I mean, I don't. You do. That sounds like an issue, not an ish me. So anyway, we were talking about the Lakers and the Nuggets here. After the first 2 games, have you changed your opinions on the outcome of this series?
I think I've already said that, but nope.
I missed the first 30 seconds of the segment. So
yes.
Okay. So no. I do not.
I picked the Nuggets and they're up 2-0. Why would I change? This is like having a royal flush in your hand and you're like, you know what? Fold.
Old.
Didn't that happen? I could have swore that happened on one of the main shows. Like someone, I don't know.
I don't watch poker.
No, I don't mean on poker. I mean on Undisputed or like a show like that. And I think it was Suns Mavericks. They started with the Mavericks, then they switched to the Suns, and then the Mavericks ended up winning. I think it was a situation like that.
I'm not switching because I'm never wrong. Don't look at our previous
Don't look at the playoff predictions.
Do not
Yeah.
look at the predictions. I am never wrong. So for a bit of a closing segment before we start wrapping this up, Demetrius Morant.
Oh boy.
There's
The
actually
man, the
nothing
myth,
really new.
the
There's nothing
legend.
really new. So he, for whatever reason, couldn't not pull out a gun on Instagram Live and all that fun stuff that happened. We're still waiting.
I couldn't find the video.
It's literally like a single frame of a video because his
Oh, okay.
friend was smart enough to see, oh crap, he's pulling out a gun, and he moved the camera.
Okay.
But it is obviously a gun.
Hats off to the friend.
Adam, yeah, no, so that we had this. You weren't here last week. Well, you weren't here on Monday. You were here last week. So
Correct.
we were talking either this guy is the friend of the year or the leech of the year, because either he's trying to protect his friend because he knows his friend's being an idiot, or possibly more likely,
He sold that video.
No, he's grifting off of Ja because, Ja is rich and Ja is giving him, Rolexes, and this is his cash cow, and his cash cow is about to lose the Nike endorsement, and so he tried to hide the footage.
So here's the thing. If you're Ja Morant, because I'm not going to go full Demetrius yet, if you're Ja Morant, does the difference between those two matter?
No.
And that's
That's the problem. I think it should, but it doesn't. I think if Ja was actually being I don't know how to word it without
sounding mean, just sound mean.
No.
Just do it.
If Ja cared about Ja, that difference would be important. But Ja doesn't care about Ja. Ja cares about Ja's street cred. Because Nike has removed the ability to purchase the Ja Morant signature shoes off of their website. You can still buy shirts and stuff, but I'm wondering if that's just because they had so many made, because shirts are a lot cheaper to produce.
Probably.
But I'm wondering if let's talk about Nike. They've made some questionable decisions this year. Because they replaced, after Kyrie's anti-Semitic tweets, they replaced the Kyries with the Jaws, and now they have to remove the Jaws. Who are they going to get next?
Dylan Brooks.
And what are they going to... Oh, God. Oh, did you see Dylan Brooks' Twitter?
No.
Okay, so this is actually funny. So Dylan Brooks tweeted or said in an interview, and then it was tweeted, that the CBA, the Chinese Basketball Association, needed to save him a spot in case he didn't get picked up.
Mm-hmm.
Dwight Howard.
I saw Dwight Howard has been trying to recruit everybody.
No, he's been trying to recruit everybody, but he released a TikTok or whatever with this tweet in the background of him talking, and he just says, "We don't want your ass."
Wow.
Imagine not even being good enough. Well, we're not good enough to make the CBA, but imagine not being good enough to make the CBA, right?
Right. How insulting.
It's absolutely insulting. I feel bad. I feel bad for him.
Yeah. So we're gonna go off on a little bit of tangent. So me and Alexis were
oh boy.
Okay.
I'm leaning back. Hold on, reclining.
Okay.
Already there.
So me and Alexis were eating at dinner, and it was in the middle of you talking about dude. And she read my reply.
Mm-hmm.
My exact reply. And then she went back in her seat and she looked at me and she said, sometimes I stay up at night wondering if you and Ren are actually friends or if this is all just a deep fake somehow.
Well, that's all the time we got, guys.
That just took a spicy turn.
Honestly, it was a great statement. It was a great statement.
It is hilarious because like you have been to my house and we haven't killed each other.
Yeah.
So I think that's an important thing of friendship is the ability to absolutely go at each other's throats and not like hold it against the other person. I think that's actually an important thing. I think we're very good at that. I think our entire friend group is actually, because we trash talk the
Oh no,
ever loving.
I have a story. I have a story. No, I have a story because I wanted to in one instance, and Alexa stopped me. So I don't know. So you got COVID when Austin got married.
Yes.
Okay. So Austin at work, while I was at work, Austin called me and he had Justin. It was me, Justin, and Austin on a three-way call. And I was
God,
at work.
I don't remember this. Why don't I remember this?
Literally chilling in the back. Literally chilling in the back. And I got the phone call, and Austin was like, "Hey, I have a very important question for you." And there was a long pause, a really long pause. And this I can't curse. This guy told me, and he asked me if I would be a damn flower girl in his wedding.
I remember that.
You said no.
I know. I didn't say no. I said F you, and I hung up the phone. And afterwards, Justin texted me, and he's like, "You know, man, I really thought he was about to ask you to be the best man." I was like, "Me too." That's why I hung up the phone. So now, fast forward. We get to the wedding, okay?
Please tell me they handed you a bucket of flowers.
No, we did not do that. We get to the wedding, and it's at the point where everyone's asking, "We have a live mic. Would you like to say some nice things to the bride and groom?" and I was like, I'm taking that damn mic. I'm taking that mic. Just give me the mic. And Alexa's like, "No, Angelo, no, be nice." And I don't know if you remember this, but Justin said I wanted to get up and I wanted to say, "Hey, you know, from your Xbox friends, have a nice wedding." No, that's not how that went. Justin wanted to say that, and he wanted me to say that, and I was like, "No, if I get this mic, bad things are gonna happen."
So,
I think Frick actually would have killed you.
Yeah, no, you don't want to know what I was going to say. Like, that would have been an all-time great rant.
So, Austin got married last year in December. Like, last year, not this.
It was in the winter. I remember that.
Yeah, it was December.
So, the week it happened, your boy got COVID.
Yes.
So
and, like,
I'm storytelling.
Died?
And, like, basically died. It was real rough. So I didn't actually get to attend. So you all have to redo it. You have to do the whole wedding over so I can be there.
We've been trying to get you to come down for 2 years. You still haven't. So what's going to change that?
I don't know.
I would have taken some major shots at his best man. I would have taken some major shots. Like, no.
I wasted so much money because of that.
Yeah, you did.
So Delta did give me a credit to use within the next year. It has now, for those following along, this was last December. It is now.
It was December 21.
December 21. So we've had December 22. My flight credit expired.
Yes, it did.
My Universal Studios credit expired. So yeah, I spent a lot of money to not go. It was great. And like I was so like I didn't say anything.
No, you didn't.
Basically dying.
You went ghost on us.
I didn't go ghost. I almost was a ghost.
Me and Alexis actually touched down in Tampa, and we were like, "What? So what do we do now? Do we wait for Rehn?" I was like, "Yeah, let's wait for Rehn."
You started blowing up my phone, which was then like you started reaching out like, and then I was like, "Oh crap! I never said anything."
So it got to the point. I took what little information I knew of Jessie at the time, and I scoured Facebook to find her.
I was
and
there.
contacted her to make sure Ren was alive.
Which, for full disclosure, barely. Like, I think I texted either Angelo or Alexis and said, "I'm dying. My bad," and then I went back to sleep.
No, that's
Or
not what
no, it
you
was
did.
gross.
That's not what you did, because once again, you don't remember the story like I remember the story.
I
You
was
had your
dying.
sister. You wanted your sister to contact us and say, "Hey, he can't make it. He's sick." And I got a message. Oh, my sister never got a hold of you. I'm dying. My bad. And then you left.
Yeah.
I don't remember.
I remember that very vividly.
It was real bad. Because I've had COVID twice. The first time it was like, oh, this is, whatever. I have a little cough. It's fine. The second time, and I think I've actually had it 3 times now, because I think I actually had it like a month ago. But we don't care anymore. We're out of the pandemic or whatever. So, but yeah, that second time.
Found it.
Wow. Oof. Ho, ho.
I found it.
You found it?
December 1st at 12:41. My sister was supposed to text you guys. I left my phone at her place and then you sent a screenshot of your positive result. That was it.
Yeah, it was rough. Rough.
Like Alexis message, Ren, are you here? Does anyone have his number? No one knows where Ren is. And then my sister was supposed to text.
Yeah, it was bad. It was real bad.
I got to the point where I thought you were mad that we chose Universal over Disney, so you said I'm not going to the wedding.
Oh, no, I didn't. I still would have gone to Disney without y'all. Like, I would have done Universal, and then I would have gone to Disney.
It's a pretty good time, man. There's a lot of Universal.
I know, when I finally looked at my phone, and
I wish I wouldn't have, just recently had gallbladder surgery and was half dead, but
yeah.
Well.
Yeah, and now he won't come back to Florida.
Yeah, no. I'm not coming back. Deuces! Y'all need to come to Ohio one of these days. I need to show you the cornfields.
So the only reason I would go to Ohio is either Cedar Point or Kings Island.
Cedar Point.
Or
Kalahari in Sandusky is also really good.
Or just Cincinnati in general, because we have a really good brewery in Cincinnati called Sonder Brewing.
I've been told about that, yeah.
It's so good. So good. We need to just plan a Kings Island trip. All of us.
I will be there.
He will be there. We're going to Kings Island.
I've actually never been there.
It's so much
the great thing about my profession is I got 2 months off, so
I don't even have a week vacation yet.
Anywhere in that time frame, I will be there.
We will actually let's try to plan something. Let's do it.
I should have cursed and just made this part the after show.
So what we'll do is we will reach out to Alexis, because Angelo will not do it.
No,
That's what I was thinking, Angelo.
In fact, I'm gonna start typing it in the group chat now. Hey guys, follow us on social media. Leave us a like, comment, subscribe on here or YouTube or whatever you're listening to this on. Leave us a review. Help us with the algorithm. Get us out to more people. We can annoy more people, make them rage, make them concerned at our mental state with the fact that we have such god-awful takes, and I'm aware of it. Both mine and theirs. Theirs are worse than mine, I will admit, but...
No, not by a long shot. The playoff predictions are indicative of that. Indicative.
No. The teams are just underperforming to my expectation. I guess
right, it's the team's fault.
Was above 0, then yeah.
You know what the best part of... Okay, so do you know what the best part of Kings Island is?
What's that?
They have a Chick-fil-A in there that's open on Sundays.
Really?
Yeah, it's
blasphemy.
Chick-fil-A. It's the only Chick-fil-A that's open on Sunday.
Interesting.
Because it's one of their food bars. They also have last time I was there, they had a Panda Express in the Viking food hall. It makes no sense, but whatevs.
I think the Vikings expanded into Asia.
Oh God, expanded.
Oh no.
That's a word we use for what they did.
Expanded.
History teacher.
If So if LeBron James started calling himself the small god, or if like Michael Jordan was the shooting god, right?
Oh god, this is going back to Chris Paul.
But then Chris Paul, right? Has Chris Paul ever won a ring? That's a loaded question. Like, I know the answer, but has Chris Paul ever won a ring? What a god, right? Has he ever been in a conference? Has he ever been in a finals?
Yeah, he was in the Suns one
Yeah, that sounds.
against the Bucks.
Has he ever been in the finals as like the lead player?
Has he ever been the lead player?
Oh my god! Now you're piling on.
Wait. Were you slandering Chris Paul? I think you were slandering Chris Paul. You're right. Who was on that 2005 Pelicans team? I bet they were better.
Oh my god! I'm gonna say Tyson Chandler now.
2005, 2006.
He's gonna say Tyson Chandler.
I mean, Tyson Chandler was pretty good.
Moochie Norris, God. Mark Jackson, but it wasn't like the Mark Jackson. It was Mark Jackson with a C.
Yeah.
Birdman was there. Oh, Brandon Bass.
I'm telling you, Tyson Chandler was the best player on that team.
Russell Butler.
J.R. Smith, Henny. Oh, David West.
I would say David
West.
West.
David West.
David West is the best player on that team.
JR.
He wasn't, but David West was.
The point is,
Is Speedy Claxton Nick Claxton's dad? There's no way, right?
Well, I think we should get going. I think now is the time.
Now is the time. Now is definitely the time. I'm gonna keep going on this though, because I want to see when Chris Paul was ever the guy. Where's there?
Okay. Well, I'm just gonna leave the mic.
Join us next week. Have a great week, y'all. We're going to. There's playoff basketball going on. That's always fun. We will see you potentially before next Sunday, but I don't want to make any promises of bonus episodes and not be able to deliver. So for sure, we'll see you next Sunday. We might see you in the midweek. Have a great week.
See ya.